See what's in the box! Nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
The mysterious large boxes that have been appearing. What exactly is going on here? It was Abdullah the Butcher who suddenly sprang from the box, and then Cactus Jack appeared at the Clash. And then finally in Gainesville, a young lady.
What is in the box? Injuries galore. Elimination Chamber coming up this weekend. You are listening to a live edition of A+ Wrestling here on YouTube and on KPHR. Where your hosts, I'm Boris, and as always, I am joined by Hutch.
What's up? You are our beautiful lady that burst out of the box. I am Cactus Jack, and of course, we are joined today by Abdullah the Butcher. What's up, Ronnie?
What's happening? What's going on?
Not much.
Not too much.
Don't bite me.
You gnaw on one forehead and you get a label all of a sudden. Jeez.
No, it's from like 3 or 4 weeks ago when you stabbed me with that fork. I figured you'd.
Listen. I mistook you for something delicious. I mean, you are delicious, but
yes, I am like Garen. I am delicious.
You are good. Yeah.
All right.
Now, this is what happens when we spend too much time apart here on A+ Wrestling on KPHR. But yes, we are live again on YouTube, trying this live thing out. So thank you so much for listening. Hutch, there seems to be a curse on Monday Night Raw, and particularly with the Vision. I'm sensing what do you say? Not only is it a curse,
it's an evil spirit, like latched onto their like lower chakras or something like that. They're dragging it around, and like they're a step off. That's why they're hurting themselves. That's what happens when you lie about injuries. The injury demon, the shoulder demon was all around last year for the last half of 25, hanging around, and then it was like
I even had that problem.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've been on X. The shoulder demon's thinking, I've been on X lately. I was off it for a while because of Elon and all this stuff, but I got back in and I realized a lot of people didn't like that whole thing with Seth. So he was a few months behind, but once he got back in with social media, the shoulder demon decided to focus solely on the Vision, and that was his vision. So, yeah, there you go, man.
Absolutely. But you know what? It is funny because, this is why you don't BS. This is why you don't lie about injuries, deaths, or anything like that, because look at what's happening right now. I would hate to be Triple H right now in creative, especially as those WrestleMania tickets aren't selling, as people are angry. What is going to happen with the Vision? Hutch, we're going to be focusing on that. Later on, we're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber. That is going to be what we're going to be talking about here on A+ Wrestling. Man, oh man, what's like? Let's start with this. Like, where shall we even start?
I can't believe that it's actually quantum physics or karma or anything like that. Because if BS is bad, then no wonder I'm at where I'm at in my life. It's like my main modus operandi is BS. So you can't, I can't go against my boy Seth Rollins and his BS because I like it. But what are they going to do with the Vision? I don't know. That's why we brought along my consigliere, my advisor, my lawyer, because the trial chief probably has some ideas of how we would handle this, at least as far as litigation is concerned. But I don't know about the fans. The fans have been rough. Like in this modern age of cancel culture, it's like nobody's all like, Triple H has really dropped the ball lately. He's got to do better. Maybe they got to reorganize, the creative process or something. It's immediately like, fire him, fire everyone, give him blah, blah, blah. Like, holy moly, man. Everybody needs to chill the F out. Triple H has done some good stuff. Black and gold. Even Vince McMahon's got some great stuff going on. Sure, he was getting old, but I don't know. What's that song? Is it 2 out of 3 ain't bad? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I think they're doing all right, but this is really unfortunate. My God, what are they going to do?
It really is, especially as the three of us have been talking about 2026 being the year of the rising stars, the year of getting new people over, the year of Oba Femi, Javon Evans, Braun Breakers, even Bronson Reeds of the world, right? And well, half of those names are injured right now. Braun Breaker, hernia injury because he was tipping over furniture. We have Bronson Reed, who injured his tricep on Monday during a match. We have Seth Rollins, who was taken out of the Vision because of an injury, probably going to be brought in for WrestleMania for a match with Braun Breaker. And now what? It's really like this big angle that they were gearing towards and building towards is now going to be on hold.
Ron, what would you do if you were Triple H right now? What would you do?
I mean, if they don't look at this as the golden opportunity that they have right now, as Boris was saying, we've mentioned before how this is the opportunity to build new stars. You've just created the largest vacuum of you need to make new stars now. You can't wait and do this, super long term. Maybe they'll get there kind of thing. You need them now. And I think this is probably the perfect time to do that now. Guys like the Oba Femi, you know what I mean? Because you have right now, again, because what happens is then they start falling back into the old tropes. For example, not to skip ahead to the Elimination Chamber stuff, but they from by all accounts had to call an audible, and Bronson Reed isn't in the chamber. Somebody else got there. Who got there? Somebody we've already seen. Why not use that opportunity to make somebody new? Like, is it sudden? Is it all? Is it?
I think they're going to have to do something like that.
They have to do it. They have to do it.
I will throw in, Ron, just 1 second.
Yeah,
hold that thought right there. I will throw this in. Last night on NXT, a new North American champion was crowned. Ethan Page has been, well, he lost his belt. Is this the chance to bring him up? And is this a rush chance? Would this be a rush? Is he the guy that you bring up?
I mean, I guess so. It wasn't really what I was thinking. I'm in any fashion whatsoever. I don't know. Did you want to continue, Ron? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, with regards to Ethan Page, I'm a big fan of Ethan Page. I love his promo work is phenomenal. I think he's definitely got that main roster sort of ability with those promos. Do I think him taking? Would it be wise to put him in that position of say replacing a Bronson Reed? Probably not. But I mean, there's certainly a lot of guys.
You got a lot of faces in the chamber now with Jay going in there. So bringing Ethan Page up. If you're suggesting somehow getting him in the chamber, he's not going to win. So it's just a way of bringing him up.
Right.
This isn't good. But before we can continue in this direction, what do you think the plan was? I mean, before we can think about what they might do, like in reality, even if you consider Braun Breaker gone and Bronson Reed just didn't hurt himself, like what do you think the plan was with the masked man? He attacked Braun. If nobody got injured, Braun and Bronson are both still there. Was this supposed to be Seth Rollins? We got to figure out what they were going to do until we have to try and figure out what they're going to do now, Does that make sense?
I think the natural progression of the story was mask comes off. It's Grayson Waller. You have Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And on the other side, you have Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins and Grayson Waller working together at this point. That would have led to 2 matches or even a tag team match with some newer stars, newer names. Yeah,
there was a lot of people online saying it was Waller, but also saying like, this makes no sense. That's stupid. Why would you do that? But of course, there's the connection.
It makes perfect sense.
Like you left me, you abandoned me, and you went to these guys. The other school of thought is that it's Seth Rollins. That's what they're trying to obviously make you think with all these stomps and the way that he acts and stuff. So he's going to return and get his revenge. At this point, I was thinking you gotta think outside the box, right? People are always complaining, like, can you ever have another Undertaker? Can you ever take the Fiend seriously? I mean, we all were taking him seriously. He was pretty good. You got to get like a supernatural character, like he unmasks and it's like the Boogeyman, and maybe he starts working with Oba Femi, because it couldn't be Oba Femi under the mask because he's too big. But somehow it has to be like, I put a curse on you, or like Seth got a guy. He's like, I did this to you. Somehow they have to take responsibility for it. But your only other avenue is Grayson Waller, because both Logan Paul and Austin Theory were not in the vision when the betrayal happened and everything. So like, there's no reason for him to go after them. So Grayson Waller is a good pick right now, but a hell of a main event spot and a lot of spotlight for something that's going to be a fart in church undercard kind of storyline, right? Obviously, I don't think it was their plan, but could be now.
I do like this idea of maybe if Grayson Waller is going to go after the vision, but then he's already a heel with the New Day, or in this case, Kofi Kingston. Like he was the one who basically dropped Theory first when Theory got injured. He was the one
Yep.
who said, "Oh, I left him in the past."
Mhm.
I mean, I could sort of, but then are you then transitioning Theory and the Vision into somehow the good guys? Like, I don't understand the Waller thing. I mean, again, you're in a position to make somebody new and do something different, and they desperately need something different. I mean, at this point, I'd be open to it for sure.
I gotta
mean?
tell
I
you,
think
even
there's certainly
though
some potential.
he gets tons of boos and tons of heat and all this, like they could turn Logan Paul face like in a heartbeat with the right one or two moves or segments. Like that guy could be the most over guy in the freaking company, like for real. And he could probably deliver if you put his feet to the fire and say, "Hey, guess what? You're number one right now." Roman's part-time. Punk just tore his top tricep too. Guess what, Logan?
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
I don't think I could see him as a good guy though. I don't think I could see that. But I think
Really? Come on,
I think
dude.
you're right. Logan
He's
Paul
tall,
could be
he's
the guy.
good-looking, He's
Yeah,
tall,
he's
he's
the
good
guy.
looking, he's blonde. He when he speaks with like a gentle gravitas, and he like, of course, his online persona, and he's a schmuck and he's a creep and all that stuff. But you could easily turn him into like the freaking hero storyline wise.
I'd like to see that out of curiosity now.
Not 1993. Like honestly, we could just have the Dungeon of Doom and have like Boogeyman and Oba Femi and Kofi Kingston and Waller, and they'd be like around a cauldron, and they'd just be like, "Ah!" and like up would come freaking like Woods with his brace on, and he'd be like, "I broke my arm. These spells were so powerful, but we still got you." Like, what, dude? You could have some serious fun, man. And like Earthquake comes in as the shark in the background, and everybody's all like, it would be pretty awesome. Kamala on that shit. Too mad.
That's one.
Oh, okay. All right. Still, we're live. Let's go. At least it's only one. You guys go. You should talk. I'll let you talk. You haven't talked in a while. We'll see how long it is until you say something bad.
That's why I'm scared to talk at this point.
Okay, go.
No, but that's the thing, right? I don't know, man. Like, is it going to be at this point the only people left in this supposed story is Grayson Waller and Logan Paul? Is this WrestleMania worthy? Is this WrestleMania caliber? It could be, in my opinion, if they have some of these injured guys show up in the peripheral, in the background. But if they just focus on a Logan Paul and a Grayson Waller, honestly, I don't think it makes sense. I think that they have to put this entire story right now, kind of put a break on it, put a tab on it, revisit it once people start coming back. It's really hard.
You've got Brock Lesnar, who's there in the peripheral, but not a member of the Vision. But God, my brain just keeps going back to Dungeon of Doom. I'm like, if Oba Femi ends up being his opponent in the end run, he could be like, "Oh, I did all of it, Papa Shango." I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where else to go. Like, somebody has to be able to take responsibility for all of this.
Okay,
and the only way to do it is like, unless you're like, I like broke into your house and slicked your floor with some grease, Braun, and that's why I got a hernia, or like, I don't know, like there's no other way, right? Like one was at the guy's house, the other one was live on TV, like somebody, I don't know, forget it. I'm trying to think how unless like leave it to Paul Heyman will just be like, "Hey, everybody's stressed, this whole thing has stressed us out, everybody's off step, everybody's like, look, Braun hurt himself, Bronson Reed, my monster, hurt himself, nobody's head is in the right spot, nobody's working the way they should." So like Paul Heyman could spin it so that it's like a real world thing where everybody's stressed out or something like that and blame it on someone, and like the masked man's doing it to us, he's doing it to us. Like I can see that. But I'm not Paul Heyman. I like comic
pivot.
Let's give somebody some power.
If they pause this whole Vision storyline, do you then pivot Paul Heyman to be part of the Brock Lesnar storyline even more? And is the only obvious choice for his opponent at WrestleMania Oba Femi?
I mean, when they're in the ring and they're like, "We're gonna have an open challenge," and you barely get through the sentence and the fans are all chanting Oba, then I think perhaps. But they've got him going against Kit, they've got him going against Rusev. Perhaps they want to get in a whole bunch of reps for Oba and have Brock come out somehow. I don't know. I mean, I don't need a segment with Brock for all of these appearances that they put on the screen. It'd be nice if like every time he came out for one of these appearances, who's going to somebody stepped up and he like wrecks them and is like, "You're not worthy," like Tozawa or Otis, or finally LA Knight on the last week before WrestleMania, and he like wrecks him too in like a full match somehow. And it's like he ends up at WrestleMania with no opponent, like John Cena, Undertaker shit. He's like, who's going to step up? And during this time, Oba Femi has, squashed a few people or done his thing and built himself up. And he shows up, especially if he doesn't have a match for WrestleMania announced or booked leading up to it. Then I think, that's a great way of doing it, to give mystery to the event, give a pop that happens there, give Oba ring time, and give Brock something to do for all of these appearances that are going to be him in a cowboy hat and Paul Heyman talking. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you reveal the guy next week, then you got, and those appearances aren't every week. So you've got like 6-7 weeks of like simmering with this. I don't know. I think the way I laid it out is good.
I like that. I think that's good.
Superpowers, a cauldron. Yeah. You could do it all. You could get a cauldron solves everything. I'm just saying. Right?
Or box.
I think it's a cauldron this week.
A box. Yeah, dude. Brock Lesnar comes out of the box. All right. We'll do like Sin Cara or like what they're doing with El Clon. Right. That's the problem. Everybody should have a clone so that when they get injured, you can just replace them with the clone.
Yeah. Yeah. Right?
But if Brock Lesnar came out of the box to fight Brock Lesnar, dude, AAA on Fox, they're going to be like, hey, that's our jam. We're into that. El Brocco Negro. All right, I'm done.
Great. Oh, Hutch, this is why you are my favorite person to talk wrestling with. But going back to the vision and what we were here to talk about at A+ Wrestling on KPHR and YouTube at Hutch Henry's. Man, it's crazy. It's lunacy to think that this is where we're at. The possibilities are endless. Something about WWE. This might just be a Vince thing. And I hate to give him all this credit, but you sometimes have to give him some credit. And that is, sometimes when Vince's back was up against the wall, they come out with some of the best stuff. Can Triple H work this magic?
Yeah, man. Well, look, the fans are chanting Oba, and Vince would have got rid of his last name right away. So, dude, he's a genius. I'm just saying, right? There would be no Oba Femi. It would just be Oba. And that's what the fans are chanting. Vince is sitting at home right now going, stupid ass last name. Get rid of that last name. Get rid of that last name. Does he still have the mustache? He's got like a streak now. He's got a streak now. I think he has no mustache, but now he's got like a big white like pomp thing.
The Pepe Le Pew thing that he's got going on. Yeah. I was going to do that. I was going to do it as well.
Vince McMorris. Good stuff.
Jesus Christ.
I do think the vision needs to be put on pause right now. I don't see them. Like, I don't see what you could do at this point unless you're making, like, the curse thing has to make sense, right? It sort of does make sense, but you need to like certainly push that more. Clearly Paul would be the one carrying it, right?
What force?
Here's the thing. What did we start the show with? What's in the box? What's in the box? We can do the whole 7-bit. What's in the box? You're talking about curses. The big rumor of who's in the box on February 29th as his AEW contract is up very soon is Danhausen.
Oh, yeah. That would be the only guy who could pull off being in a box. Everybody else, you'd be like, what did you eat or drink? Like, Chris, what have you been doing in there, Chris, for the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, right. But Danhausen, especially in Chicago where he lives, he's not from there, I don't think, but he lives there.
No, he lives there now.
Yeah. And that guy gets around. He was in Montreal like 2 years ago, living in Montreal. We were trying to book him. Like, he's moved around, but I think that's because
that's where his wife is from, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly. That's where he was. But they're in Chicago now. But like Danhausen could pull off being in the box. But is Danhausen? He would definitely get a response. But how many people at home are going to be like, "Who's this guy? Why does he have a bag of teeth? What the hell is going on?" You know. So.
It's the same issue I think I've come across. I know some folks who are very, very heavily into just WWE, and everything outside of WWE may exist. So when Penta debuted, they were like, "Who is this guy?" You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't know Penta? Oh my God. So I mean, Danhausen, while I think we would love it, I think it would fall on a lot of deaf ears, and they just wouldn't understand why Danhausen would be a great choice for.
Yeah, but
for
they're
that
the
sort
ultimate
of
marketing
moment.
machine. Didn't take long for Mr. Iguana to start selling stuff. Like they probably see money in Danhausen if it's Danhausen.
How that makes sense, I still don't know.
I don't
Jesus.
think it's a freaking human being. I mean, Danhausen is the only one that could do it. And then maybe he could be like, oh my God, curse. We're talking curses. He can
That's
put
what
it.
I mean. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
going
God.
with
Is that
this.
how you did this? Okay, you
Yeah.
started this segue. I'm sorry. I just finally caught on. I'm not that swift. I'm like Anakin Skywalker. I'm a slow learner. But then
And I also have the
powerful.
higher ground, clearly.
But yeah, I've already sworn twice, right? So hopefully we don't get to 3. I'm a slow learner. But dude, he can pull it off and curse everybody. Yeah, I love this now. But I don't think it's a person. I think it's probably gonna be something lame like a standee for the new 2K27 or whatever it is. It'll be CM Punk. I mean, Becky Lynch dissed him and saying like, I was on the cover of a better game than your man. Your man was on a crappy game cover. They're in Chicago. He's supposedly on the cover for the new one. Yeah, I think it'll be something lame like that. I don't think it's gonna be anything super impressive.
Yeah, it can't be a person because logically it would make no sense to just ship it back and forth between shows. Nobody's opening the box. Nobody's like decided to do that. We're just waiting like it's Christmas and do not open
He
until
just passed out.
it's like, oh God, I've been here for so long.
So long, yeah.
You need to be banging.
He could pull off that comedy segment too. He'd be like, "Oh, finally, is it time?" Sorry,
Yeah.
But so many mysteries right now. Who's gonna face Brock Lesnar? What's in the box? Like, who's the mystery man? But while I was ranting there, I love these rants because then I say things I hadn't thought about it at all. The idea that Paul Heyman is the one saying, hey, we're all stressed out, we're all off step. Like this is why this is happening. We're not eating properly, we're not sleeping properly, we're traveling too much. Like this masked man is driving us nuts. And the Grayson Waller connection has this masked man, pokeroo time here, guys, has the current masked man been on screen or in the same spot as Austin Theory yet? I guess a tag match he came in and did something. I don't know. We got to research that. But like Waller, that one was Waller. It's Austin Theory the whole time. He's been like a double agent, and it's him and Waller both doing the mask gimmick and fighting from within. And he's making sure Bronson doesn't get the proper sleep. He's off step. He was like, I can't believe he got a hernia. I had a whole plan, but he was so frazzled. He went downstairs, like gave himself a hernia. I didn't even have to do the thing I had planned. This is working out great. And like Paul Heyman, like being frazzled as well. He's the next to go. Like, I don't know. Could be something like that. Like they have to ground it in real world, like telenovela stuff. I've been reviewing the AAA on Fox. Like, let's do some telenovela, right? They got like when it comes to behind the scenes, family drama, stuff like that. They're pretty good at it. Like, let's do this.
You literally go from I don't even know right now.
What, Dungeon of Doom to like reality.
Dungeon of Doom to telenovelas.
You can't pull off Dungeon of Doom unless it's Danhausen. And like I was going with the whole like I kept thinking of people with Oba Femi's necklace and Boogeyman and like voodoo stuff and whatnot. And that's why I went with Dungeon of Doom. But modern curses, modern voodoo, I don't know. Like, and Danhausen's pretty good. That's something for the skinny white guy to do. Oba can still wrestle. All these other guys can wrestle except for Boogeyman. But what's Danhausen going to do? He can take some bumps and say some weird. Oh, I almost said.
You almost
said it. I told you I'm a learning machine. I'm like Anakin. It just takes me a while, right? Anyways, yeah.
The midichlorians
If it
are
is
strong in
Danhausen,
you.
I'm in. Sorry, what was that?
I said the midichlorians are strong in you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right,
Ron,
let's go.
what you got?
I think there's a cream for midichlorians. I'm not sure. I don't know how science works. I like the idea of an Austin Theory trying to break the vision from within.
You just need to have a reason.
Now I do want to check to see if he has been, in that whole thing.
And if he has, then it could be Grayson Waller, and they're both doing like a double mask thing, like twin magic.
Yeah. Like, would you say that A-Town Down Under would reunite and?
So that was.
I don't hate that idea.
Theories.
Honestly,
that was one of my theories. As everyone was healthy, not injured, I was thinking that A-Town Down Under and working with Seth Rollins to take out the Vision.
Mm-hmm. It'd be something different for sure. Like I said, at this point, they have nothing but a golden opportunity to do something different. Maybe they take this time to realize maybe these things aren't getting the reaction we wanted. Maybe this isn't going, obviously not going to plan. But certainly they have that ability to sort of pivot and change direction and be like, okay, this was an experiment. We didn't really know where we were going with it. Now we have no idea where we're going with it. But let's just do anything. Let's just do something and see what happens. Because they clearly, if they just put it on pause and then pick it back up when you get one or two other healthy people, I mean, why do something different? My God.
That's why I keep saying they got to come up with something outside the box. Yeah. Because dropping it sucks. Everybody hates when you drop stuff. But maybe it would have to be another segment, another brilliantly worded Paul Heyman segment where he's like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm going back to Connect. I'm going back wherever to Jersey." Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, but Paul." He's like, "No, I've given up on all you guys." And like, then it's him and Theory standing there together. And, well, what should we do? And he'd be like, "I don't know." Yo, Grayson, what are you doing, man? And then Paul's by himself. Like, what the hell, man? I don't know. They would have to do it in some way.
What do you do with Logan Paul at that point?
Maybe I don't know, man. Have him fight Pikachu at WrestleMania. I'd watch that. Speaking of going on to WrestleMania, like what's going on with the chambers here? I mean, if we're done with the box, I mean, what could actually be in this box? Could it be a statue for the Hall of Fame or WrestleMania? Could it be something that they're like presenting? Is this the new trophy for the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Like, it's got to be something lame. Like, it can't be a person, and it can't be anything cool. Because what Jim Cornette's right. If somebody comes out of a box, I guess they're automatically over. But I have a feeling this is not going to be cool.
I think, honestly, all joking aside, I think this will be a debuting Danhausen. I really do think it's going to be that.
You know what? It really is the best choice. My God.
It's the only logical choice that won't piss everyone off. Remember Survivor Series a few years ago with that, almost swore, with that egg?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Are we going to get another one of those?
Like, I don't know. Another egg.
And then it got stolen.
Yeah.
By whom? Wasn't it Austin Theory?
Maybe. But I mean, it's good. It's good merch sales there, right? For like Danhausen. Like, that'll be good. But
there's really nothing else. I'm trying to think, and I can't think of anything else that you put in that box. Like, it can't be props because like a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be Jericho. But again, you can't have a person in a box for several weeks. That doesn't make any sense. You also, I don't think you can't put stuff like, oh, they put all the old stuff of Jericho stuff in the box. Whether it's the let's say a jacket, the Painmaker jacket, or the light up jacket, or the list or whatever. That's a pretty big box for something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
they crack it open at the beginning and it's like the Geratron 5000 and a couple other things. And they're like, what's this? And there's like a Band-Aid inside, like set this stuff. I don't know. Who knows?
Or a timer.
Obviously, it just seems weird. It just seems weird because they made it like both sides were like, I don't want this box. I don't want this box. But take it to the other show.
Here's the thing. The latest rumor is that Chris Jericho's contract in AEW has been frozen. So it is still an active contract in AEW.
Yeah, with how fast they get rid of people off of that online database when they're gone, he wouldn't be there still. But Chris Jericho's the kind of guy, and Tony Khan's probably cool enough. He'd be like, listen, Tony, keep me on the webpage. Don't take me down. Chris Jericho's really true. He'll take different steps, new steps. He wants to keep people out of the loop. So he might tell Tony, hey, this is a great way to throw off the marks. Is just do this. And then we'll keep on we'll keep dragging it out. Perhaps, when they mentioned on Raw, like, hey, we're going to break the walls down tonight. And it felt like they were like teasing him back in December. And that might've been before Tony was like, yeah, by the way, I'm throwing on 3 months. I'm throwing on 4 months. So you miss Mania. Like, screw you. You owe me time. So who knows? Right. They counter programmed him like for the whole last half of last year. He might be like, no, screw you.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. Like that's what I was thinking here. What would be the benefit to Tony at that point? Because he's friends with Chris, I guess.
Well, or I mean, like for a long time since the very beginning,
for sure.
He's his guy with a fat cat. He's his consigliere. He's like, Chris, what do you think of this? And Chris is like, I think it's great, and we should sell some bubbly too. It's a great idea, bud. And I'll jump into a vat of orange juice with Orange Cassidy. Like it's all, it's my vision. Brilliant, Chris. They were there together.
That's his vision.
Oh my God. All right, let's go back a half hour in. We're back to the vision in the box. So obviously the mysteries are certainly worth talking about. But what do you want to move on to for the second half here, pal?
All right. Well, we got the Elimination Chamber preview, and we're going to do a preview to tonight's AEW Dynamite. So you guys, I will let you choose which you want to talk about here on KPHR and on @Hutch Henry's on YouTube.
Well, let's talk about Elimination Chamber. It'll have more shelf life because by the time this goes live, there's only a few hours till AEW, and I'm going to sit here speculating about stuff, and we'll be wrong about it all. But let's be wrong about Elimination Chamber instead, and we'll have 3-4 days of like good speculation before people, people can comment like, "You're a complete moron, goddamn Dungeon of Doom," and I'll be like, "See, this would have been moot if we did AEW." We're going to talk about Elimination Chamber.
All right, let's talk about Elimination Chamber.
4 matches,
we
title,
have 4
matches. Chamber. Okay,
we have 4 matches, a full card going into this Saturday's Elimination Chamber. Let us start with the men's Elimination Chamber match. Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams versus Jey Uso. And the winner gets a chance at the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42.
Does it?
Predictions.
Is that?
Like who? Like who's going to take on Drew the heel? Is it going to be Randy? I don't know. Well, it's Cody. It's got to be Cody, right? We're going to do Cody.
It's got to be Cody.
I feel like it's Cody.
Or like the logical, it's gonna have to be Cody, because the logical thing that they've been stretching out for this last couple of months is the friction between Cody, Drew, and Jacob Fatu. So I mean, to me, it just almost seems a little too obvious that Fatu is getting involved somehow,
Okay.
To set that up, because
here's my
whether he
thing,
gets
right?
involved in the finish or after or whatever.
No. Boris, what do you think is going to happen?
Sorry,
I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I want to bring this up, right? People, we're in the time of shaking things up in WWE, right? We've seen some friction between Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. Everyone thinks it's going to be Jacob Fatu to screw Cody Rhodes out of the win of the Elimination Chamber. What if it's just Sami Zayn?
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do with Sami and Trick? I'm smelling Sami and Trick up ahead. But okay, I like to think fun stuff, right? Trick wins. Imagine somehow Trick gets the title in the next little while. And so then he's in Sammy's face like, oh, look what I did. Right there's your better program, right? Sami going after Trick. But, Fatu gets involved somehow, costs Cody the match. So he doesn't win. So you've got your Cody Fatu program. And then somebody weird goes against Drew, like Randy.
LA Knight?
Like LA Knight. Dude, they've got a good 4 to 6 weeks to push like Randy Orton going for his 16th title. Like they can start pushing that stuff, right? It seems kind of lame, but these corporate higher ups, they might not think it is. They're like, hey, Randy has numbers, Randy has reaction, Randy, we've got a built-in story with chasing the numbers, so who knows? There we go. Sami versus Cody versus Jacob versus Drew. But how do they make it happen though? Like Joe, I agree with you, but how do they get there? Both Sami and Jacob are not in the Elimination Chamber. And if somebody wins the Elimination Chamber, then why would they give their shot? Why would they split it with other people? And if somehow they cost Cody the match so he doesn't win Chamber, then the person who does win has to go against Drew. So like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. That's why we got Ron here.
Exactly, Ron. What are your thoughts?
I still think I can't see a 4-way as you said. It would be very hard for somebody to just throw Sami a bone and be like, listen, now you're getting involved. Now I'll bring you into the main event of WrestleMania kind of thing. Yeah. I still think that the 3 ways to play. I like, actually, you were mentioning the Trick and Sami thing. That is a great program, personally. I also, on sort of a different tangent of that, I could sort of see, because they've already started this fomenting of rage between Sami and Cody, where Cody's like, dude, stop being a whiny, little
He's person. Very Canadian of him to go be like, I'm sorry, Cody.
No, you're right. What if Cody cost Sami, his spot in the chamber and eliminates him? You know what I mean? That could further have Sami descend into craziness and whatever. I do like the idea of Trick winning a title over Sami, again pushing him further into madness. But I don't see you're getting away from that 3-way. They seem to be very stuck in a pattern of, this is what we've telegraphed 3 months ago. You saw it coming. We're going to give you that because That's just what we do.
Yeah, that is what they do. I mentioned Joe before. For those listening, Joe, a comment here by one of our listeners, but he's saying a McMahon in every corner 4-way. I don't know about that, but I suddenly realized they've got 2 nights. Like, and Cody's a real hothead these days. Like, if Cody won the Chamber and then, Jacob's in his face, he's being like, now you got a shot. I had you beat if it wasn't for this and that. He's like, you're taking what's mine. You're taking what's mine. He's like, you think you've struggled so hard, Cody, with your last name, Rhodes? You've been a golden boy since day one. He's like, I'm the black sheep of the Fatus. Nobody ever thought I was going to get here. Give me a break. And so he's like, all right, fine. You know what? Night 1, you and me. If you beat me, you can have your shot against Drew. And like, boom, like they could, like,
that could work.
2-night thing. I don't know what they could do, but there's also...
I've always said that. I'm a huge fan of those through stories, right? Have a story for night 1, have a story for night. That's what made WrestleMania 41 or 40 memorable, is the fact that you had, the Cody ending his story
I kind of love
over
that
2
match.
nights.
Like with The Rock, like yelling at the refs and being like swearing and then being like, for you, Mama Rhodes. And he's like, boom, and like pinning Cody. Like, yeah, I'm the man. Like, it was great. He's like,
right. And now Cody lost. And what do we do now? And Seth Rollins is injured. How is he going to defend his title tomorrow? Like, I love that about WrestleMania 40. And I honestly think at this point, you can do some very intriguing storytelling like this, rather than having all these triple threats, 4-corner matches, what have you. Have through stories for some of these major programs.
Another thing you could do is somehow, I keep thinking about Trick Williams, right? But he's a heel right now. But you've got Trick and Javon. Somehow do you get there where like they both somehow qualify and like Drew. So you've got the other guys all fighting each other, Sammy and Jacob and Cody. Somehow they're off to each other. They've been whatever. Like outside the box, we're thinking somehow it's Javon Evans or Trick against Drew. And Drew's all like, oh, I can't believe I'm here. And he's like, you young boy. And like, the way that Drew talks to people and puts them down and can like brush them aside, and he's bigger than both these guys, even though they're both big, tall kids. So you can still look down on them. They could turn Trick. The Trick is just waiting to be The Rock. Like he's already like talking to himself and like he's at his like looking at Farouk stage, like right, like he's already love him. He's already ready to turn into The Rock, right? Whoop that Trick. He gets the best reactions. Like he's ready to break through. Do we want to do it?
Thank you, Booker T.
Like Javon, like. Is somehow he has to insult them and then you care about that, right? But it's the 3-way match where where Trick comes out on top and now then you've got him facing Javon and now Sammy can go after him. There's so much they could really do and it all really depends on who's in the box.
There we go. Night 1, Cody versus Jacob. Sammy interferes. All 3 have Drew the next night. That's another possibility.
Mm-hmm. This is our referee Joe Thorington here for Demand Lucha. Thanks for watching, Joe. He's our head referee, lead referee when we're on our expos, but at our regular shows, he's taking care of all the backstage stuff. He takes care of all the guys, the gear, hanging belts. He takes care of everything that needs to be taken care of via headphones. So we love you, Joe. And when we're on our tours, he loves to get in the ring. And sometimes wrestlers take the chance to punch him in the face. Refereeing's a rough gig.
There we go. Gentlemen, we've been talking about Sammy. We've been talking about Trick. We've been talking even about Javon Evans. We're talking about everyone. But there's someone that we haven't talked about that's in this match that deserves maybe a better spot at WrestleMania, and that is L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
What do we do with L.A. Knight?
I think he's going to job out like he usually does. Right? I don't know what to say. I love me some LA Knight, but I don't know what's going to happen there. But I can see, Drew, if everybody gets screwed over, Sammy can get mad. Hey, Trick, you were the first one to get pinned, Mr. Hot Stepper Peppers. And okay, I'm taking on you at Mania. Screw you. And then Jacob screwing over somehow coming up in a hood, another hood, because Triple H has like a whole box of hoods in his trunk. He's like, in my trunk, so go get a hood, right? So like Jacob pull out a hood, cost Cody the match. So LA Knight wins, huge pop. No one can believe it. He's going after Drew, and Drew can just be like, LA Knight. Oh, it's gonna be a night off at Mania. Thank you so much. And then that's your build, is like Drew being like, whatever, you're Mr. Choke. Give me a break. And LA Knight can be the guy Smiley of WWE that he is. He's pretty good at it.
And Jey Uso?
And Jey Uso's just gonna lose. Freaking lose. Yeet. Although I would not be mad if he yeeted in the chamber. I don't know why everybody has a problem about this. Like, let the kid do his thing. He's gonna be old one day.
He's gonna yeet in the chamber. There's no question.
Bro, he's the only guy who, when he's freaking 60 at the convention circuit, can stand up and like probably get the whole yeeting at the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Yeah,
like it's awful. It's awful.
He's gonna be running it back when he can't run. That's what's
Oh
gonna happen.
God.
Yes, we'll be running it back when he'll be wheelchairing it back and be like, let's run it back. Anyways, yeah.
There you go.
I
Big match.
yeah, I don't see anything else with LA Knight, honestly. Yeah, he's
Until it happens, it's very easy for it not to happen. But when it happens, we might be like, hey, I like the flavor of this. I like the smell of this. I mean, they gave Jade a couple months. Give LA Knight a couple months. It's got to happen. Everybody's getting injured anyways. Bloody hell. Come on. At least the guy doesn't get injured.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it as a surprise. Don't telegraph it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. There we go. Javon Evans, huge opportunity for Javon Evans as well, and Trick Williams being the quote unquote rookies of this match. I have a feeling that Javon Evans is going to do something absolutely ludicrous in this match.
Yeah, Trick's going to get a huge reaction from the crowd. Javon's going to jump off something tall. Randy's going to come out of nowhere. I mean, it's a lot of the stuff's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen, right? We also know what's going to happen with the IC. Yeah. I'll go straight into the IC title match. We know what's going to happen there, right?
That's where I'm going with this match.
AJ Lee is going to win the title in her hometown, and then at WrestleMania, she's going to lose it to Becky Lynch. It's pretty simple, right? Bam.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, you know what?
I don't see why not.
I
can think of a better idea.
Yeah, if you pitch me something better, I'm water, man. I'll be like, hey, I flow. That's a great idea. But right now, I think it's AJ over, Becky over. See you later.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It makes the most logical sense. But it is WWE. Again, if this was Vince McMahon, AJ would be humiliated in Chicago, only to get a revenge, not in Chicago.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, she's not full-time. Becky's full-time. Becky can do her thing. I mean, after all, she's the best. It's not just her that says it. You know,
a lot of people are saying it.
Yes, a lot of people are saying it. Bleacher Report, Sports Illustrated, I think, maybe.
Yeah, Bleacher Report also says it. Yeah.
And A+ Wrestling. A+ Wrestling says it as well sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It's a segue to
all right,
commercial.
let us move on to the women's chamber match, where the winner gets a shot at the WWE Women's Championship, as Liv Morgan chose Stephanie Vaquer on Monday's Raw. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss versus Asuka versus Kiana James versus Raquel Rodriguez. I was shocked that Kiana James got into this match.
Yeah, I mean, I love ever since she came out in the horns tooth freaking bodysuit at Royal Rumble, like I'm into her, and I kind of like, she was doing great. I couldn't tell who she was because I was in a bar, and I'm like, who is this person? And yeah, I've always thought she was pretty good. Maybe she'll be the surprise years from now. We'll all be like, wow, she'll still be around. She'll be doing her thing. I think the reason she won, I think it's probably way more simple than anybody thinks. They probably just didn't want to have tag team partners together in the chamber. Straight up. Mm-hmm. There's no Asuka Kyrie, there's no Rhea Io, and there's no freaking Alexa and Charlotte. They're keeping this tag division hot, and they don't want to muddy the waters here. So who's going to win? That's not those three people. Like, who's going to take on Jade? Like, who's the best choice to take on Jade? I think it's just who's going to win, right? Who do we think that is?
I also think with how impressive Kiana was at the Rumble, I mean, it certainly makes sense to give her just a little bit more in the chamber. As for who, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kiana does win it and takes on Jade, because we've sort of, I don't want to say we've seen other iterations against people with Jade, like we've seen Tiffany and Jade, and as you said, the other women are essentially keeping the tag division hot. I could see Kiana James pulling that out,
and I can see Kiana James pulling a fun Santino, Kiana James, somehow coming out with the win in the chamber, going on to take on Jade Cargill. Oh my God. And it's freaking on the pre-show or the second match of night one, in and out, squasher. Let's go. Goodbye. Because I don't really need to see any Jade. They presented her this week just the way I like, standing there looking pretty, not saying much, and then going away. Thank you.
Yeah.
So then,
I mean, you're not getting a 5-star classic.
She would be great in Oba Femi's Dungeon of Doom. She coming out of the cauldron with fucking Kofi Kingston there, like yeah, and then Boogeyman, all of them together. Bam, it'd be awesome. And the Shark guy and Otis, like, oh, my Dungeon of Doom is gonna be awesome.
So similar to the men's, let's go through some of the other names and see what is next for them. Let's assume that Kiana James is the winner in this match. What do we do with Tiffany Stratton?
I don't know. Honestly, she might be your winner. She's in no program at all. She could probably
That's
give a
what I mean.
decent match to Jade. She is not part of any of these tag teams, and Kiana James is probably not going to go to WrestleMania to take on the champ. So
it's one of those two for me. Yeah.
And she can do her like BME. Like I know it's the PME. Hers is the prettiest. It's not the best like Christopher Daniels, but she can do her moonsaults off one of the cage pods or something, take a win, whatever. Watch her break her leg or something, another injury, and then they're like, "All right, I'm the Kiana James, you're in, girl." All right, boom. It's the demon is strong right now, and I don't mean Finn Balor because he ain't winning.
Tiffy U.S. title picture.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. It's either Tiffy or Kiana for me. Like I said, all the other women are keeping that tag division hot, which is kind of crazy when you think about it compared to the men's, right? On both shows, even.
Well, there's one big difference, Ron, with this, that in the men's division we have two tag team champions, which still boggles my mind that we split up what could be a epically strong tag team division by splitting them up by shows. Like, I just don't understand this.
Yeah, like I liked it when they had the unified double title, except they were just goofy looking, being red and blue and what that stuff. But you know, like I'm a big All Japan fan, right? Like the All Asia, like when they come out with the two titles, they're a little bit smaller and they're like more manageable, so it looks kind of cool, right? But still, I'm down with this. Like for the rest of the time, the unified undisputed tag team championships. Let's do this.
As long as they, actually do stuff with their tag division, that would be nice. I'd be all right with that. But yeah,
Raquel Rodriguez. That's the other woman out of this whole vision that we have. You see, we keep going back to vision. Raquel Rodriguez, is she going to be involved in the Liv Morgan program in any shape or form? That's kind of the odd person out here because everyone else, as you two have mentioned, are in the tag team division.
Like, it's too bad that the chamber isn't like a cash in kind of thing, or like at some point in the future announce I'm taking you on, because she would have to take her on at Mania. But I could see Raquel getting a shot. Like Raquel is awesome. We all love her. Judgment Day. What are they doing with Judgment Day? If Finn leaves, which I think is going to be happening soon. Can you imagine Raquel Rodriguez turning on Liv and maybe like joining Stephanie Vicaire as her like heater, Big Mommy Cool and Steph? Because I don't want Steph to be a bag to be heel, but like there you go. You've got Steph whipping off fire in Spanish at the camera, and like Rodriguez just being like, she says this, she says this, she says this, and it's all going
just like that
together doing their thing, dude. And then that's your new tag team champions, because obviously Liv, I think, is going to take the title, right? But then they go, dude, that'd be a hot like heel team. A hot babyface team, because I don't know, like, care if she can go heel. Like she's got you want to like her. She's got poise. You don't think she makes bad decisions or acts rashly. So she's not going to be a heel because I don't know. She's not Dr. Evil. She's like James Bond. You know what I mean?
I mean, from a story point, I could see Raquel winning the chamber actually, because then you've got Liv and Raquel. They're in the same faction. Hey, listen, I have a shot at being champion. You have a shot at being champion.
Dude, I can see backstage segments, but is she going to take on the end run? Is she's taking on Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? Is that a match we want to see? Is that a match that's going to happen? They're on different brands. Like, it's just, I'm trying to think like WWE, not like a Mark.
Yeah. I don't see them. I don't see them. If that is the case, they're both not winning. Do you know what I mean?
Because one will screw the other and vice versa.
Yeah. Whether intentional or not, but yeah. I can certainly see that playing out.
She wins the chamber and she's all like, listen, Liv, I got to talk to you. What? I don't want to take on Jade Cargill. I want to take on Victoria. Well, I'm taking on Victoria. No, I'm taking on Victoria. They're both fighting like, Jade, hey, nobody wants to take on me. Whatever. Like, hey, get out of here. And like, they both have to fight for the shot.
Who is this girl?
Double pin.
Who is this girl?
Yeah.
Right?
It's like that kind of reversal of Benoit and Jericho taking on Angle for both of his titles, except like they both get a pinfall attempt. Like freaking I'm like, who's the champ? Vicaire has to pin both of them. She's got to pin twice, but she can only get pinned once. Or like there has to be 2 pins total in the match. I don't know. Let's have some fun here.
Going back to what we were talking about, those through stories, right? If Raquel Rodriguez loses, what if they have 2 women's title matches, one on night 1, one on night 2? This is the beauty at this point, right?
Yeah,
especially with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They can split them up. And maybe night 2 we get Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah, maybe.
They're
Ron, what do
just
you
wishful
think?
thinkings. It is more
I mean,
wishful thinking than...
it could work. I mean, I could see it working. I don't know if they would rush into, let's say, Liv winning, and then Raquel says she wants a shot like the next night. You know what I mean? But I can
We
see
can talk
it
about it
happening
for another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But then when Raquel gets pinned and we're all just like, oh, okay. We're like, we think that WWE sees what we see right now, that she's doing better. She's getting obviously they do, right? They're putting more onus on her and giving her more responsibility. But Triple H is much more of a slow burn guy than fans would like him to be. He's probably not going to pull the actual trigger yet. She's just in the chamber because they need a big girl. They need to heat her. They need someone that can base for freaking somebody jumping off the cage or whatever. So things like that. And then she's going to get pinned and somebody like Tiffy's going to win because she's got nothing to do with Mania, and they can just have a 5-minute match with Jade where Jade's like, she can stand there all freaking glistening, or she loses, and Tiff's the champ. And then you got a mini progress, something for them to do on TV for a while. They can both shove marbles in their mouth and talk to each other. I'll come for you, girl. But
Jesus Christ.
I would like to see marble mouth promos. I think those need to come back. I think that's what they need.
It's bubble gum, right? That's Tiffy with bubble gum.
No, I want actual marbles now that we're talking about it.
Yes, we do.
That's
well, speaking of marbles,
Pogs.
anybody who thinks
Pogs,
that Finn Balor
they're back in Alf form.
Speaking of marbles, sorry, I love my segues. Anybody who thinks Finn Balor is going to win is going to losing their marbles. What is this all about? Obviously, it's just a vehicle for him to turn face and I guess take on Mysterio at Mania or something like that. I don't know.
I think so.
I'd be all right with it. I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The most important part, even though it's one of those things where we know that CM Punk is going to win, without a shadow of a doubt, the match needs to be epic. The match needs to be awesome.
Yes.
At one point in that match, I want to be saying in my head, maybe Finn could win. That's the type of match that we need.
As long as we don't get another Drew Sammy kind of quality match, I'm 100% on board. I think those two, certainly given the fact that they are a little bit older, I think they can perform at that crazy high level to give that kind of match. I certainly think if they were in that sort of position where they're sort of teasing the idea that Finn can win this, I think that would be amazing. I like being hooked into that point where you're like, I don't know, man, maybe. But if they can do that, I think just the match itself will just win on its own. You know what I mean? I at that point, the finish doesn't matter so much as give me a great psychologically compelling match, please. That's all I want.
Psychologically compelling. You know what? Finn's not the greatest actor. When you got him in there with CM Punk, who's all B tier delivery actor, but also in backstage segments with Liv, who is A tier delivery actor, that. So she could leave WWE and be a Rock. She could make it in Hollywood easy. She has great delivery, great facials, great eyes, great everything about her is great. Even her stance, as somebody that does acting, does voiceover, does everything. She has everything I would want in somebody, and obviously she's tenacious and tough and can take a beating too. So you can. Beep, don't go there. See, I'm sorry. Sometimes I catch myself before I go really crazy dark places. Went all Weinstein there for a minute in my head. I was like, whoa.
Jesus Christ. Whoa.
I was like, hey, I'm going a
KPHR.
million places at once.
We're still at KPHR.
Okay. I said Weinstein, not Epstein. Okay.
That's not much better.
Digging that hole.
Different levels of
digging that hole.
Have the same evil.
Oh my God.
What? Wrestling? Sorry.
We have 7 minutes left. Let us go to the mailbag here on A Plus Wrestling every week on Facebook.com. I like to put a little thread where you can leave us a note. You can leave some hate mail for one of us. You can say, hey, that was a creepy thing to say, Hutch, or whatever you want to say. So this week, Justin Doss, huge listener, awesome guy, met him once. He's a really cool guy. This is what he had to say. We're going to be talking about this right after this. And that is, I think AJ retirement was great. I feel bad for Bronson Reed. All right. Anmol Jane, he left us a picture comment. I wish more people could see this. But last night on NXT, there was someone who looked exactly like the Matt Damon from Team America poster. And then Douglas Stanford Grandy said the vision is cursed.
Yeah, man. Danhausen. They're
I like I said, I like the slow descent of maybe Paul Heyman maybe not being the oracle that he thinks he is, because an oracle would see this coming.
Right?
You know?
Oh. But there, you're just getting
Barbara
more
Gordon.
into cauldrons.
Barbara Gordon wouldn't let this happen to her vision.
Exactly, oracle.
Yeah.
But like he was an oracle standing over his cauldron. You've got two ways to go, right? In my opinion, if you want to go reality based, you have to kind of go with this. We're stressed out. This is all like bloom. You got to go with the modern like. What's the company that sponsors all of the freaking podcasts? BetterHelp. Yeah, they're online with BetterHelp now because they're like, this masked man is driving us nuts. And or you go the other way where it's like, I guess would have to be Danhausen in Chicago coming out of a box and being like, I cursed the vision. Yeah, teeth. Right? Like, who knows? Don't swear, sis. Don't swear, Hachi. Don't swear. I'll be like, all right, Danhausen. No swearing. No swearing.
Real quick, AJ's retirement on Raw.
Beautiful.
Thoughts, Hutch?
Love that he loves his family so much. Love that he's dedicated. I got to tell you, there's nothing better than the love of a good one. It doesn't matter what they look like, day, night, up, down, whatever. When you love them, it's just like, man, it's like loving your dog. Like it never ends. It's an endless well of love and appreciation. And I'm sure that she has earned it. And him like not wanting to put the gloves down in Saudi gave us all that feeling of like, no, I'm not going to let this happen, Gunther. I'm still going to wrestle 2026. But in reality, it was like, no, I'm not going to let this happen here. In Saudi.
Yeah.
I'm going home. And it made sense. It got a little bit of a boo, like, oh, really? Oh, okay. But in like as soon as you kind of got over that, you were like, man, did that ever make sense? You're like, of course.
Ron, thoughts?
And it makes sense. I mean, the fact that, it's very, I guess, public now where he's like, it's a great bookend to start at Rumble, end at Rumble. Yeah. People again thought they're like, it makes no sense. It's only January. And you say he's got a year left. Like, I like the surprise of the retirement, and I like the ceremony itself. Fantastic. I like that they brought in obviously a lot of TNA rivals into that whole thing. They even brought Air Paris into the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And getting everybody there, I think, was just such a classy touch compared to the last retirement ceremony we saw in a ring, Goldberg, and I think it was a much better production. I think it was just a great classy touch by the company that I dislike.
He's done it all. He's had every accolade. He's had all the matches. He's made all the money. And as much as we're marks and we're like, hey, we want to see a few more matches. We want to know that you're leaving and we want to get our fill. This happened so fast and we want to see you go to AEW. We want to see these things. Dude, spending that time at home looking at his family being like, look what I'm missing. Like, that's what's important to him. There's no more matches left for him. There's no more going to face Will Ospreay or Kenny. Like, he doesn't care. It's the same way, like, I've never had somebody react so, like, when Vampiro, like, literally shows up at an event and is like, hi, hey, listen, don't talk to me about that time with Sting. I don't care about my career. Don't tell me anything about my career. I have no interest in talking about it, okay? And I'm sure AJ's like, there's nothing left. I don't care. I just want to go home.
Newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Classy touch there. I like it. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's had an amazing career, not only in WWE, but also TNA, which obviously very closely affiliated now. All of his stuff in Japan. It just makes sense. I think it's a very fitting inductee into any Hall of Fame, let alone a WWE Hall of Fame. So I'm beyond excited for that. I'm hoping his speech is fantastic, for sure.
Phenomenal, even.
Yeah,
some would say phenomenal.
Yeah, it should be great.
And with that said, we are done here on A+ Wrestling on KPHR and on YouTube at Hutch Henry's. Hutch, where can we find your marvelous, phenomenal work?
I don't know. You like, I don't know. I don't think I'm be doing any work lately. I'm glued to my TV and on the all the boards, all the rumors. I want to know what's going on with Tama Tonga and Nakamura. That's the future. That's 2026 MFTs. Let's do this. Or you could add Hutch Henry's if you want anywhere online.
Ron, my friend,
You can find me as part of the MFTs. I'm still trying to work my way. I'm not quite. I'm very white, and so it's a hard struggle. But I am just guy with fat cat. You can find me some places, other places you won't. But I'm just a guy with a fat cat. That's me.
A+Productions.com is where you can find all of the news about what's going on in A+ Productions. If you want to listen to our geek shows and so much more, go to your favorite podcasting app and search for A+ Productions. If you just want to listen to this show and other wrestling shows, search for A+ Wrestling. Yeah. Hit that subscribe, leave a review. Thank you so much. This weekend on Sunday, it's Sunday, we're going to do an Elimination Chamber review. That'll be the show next week. We might do a mid next week. Throwing in the pay-per-view is going to throw off our schedule, but we're going to be talking all things Elimination Chamber on the next episode of A+ Wrestling here on KPHR and on YouTube at Hutch Henry's. On behalf of the entire A+ Productions crew, thank you so much for listening, but most importantly, stay tranquilo.